Miss Taylor was a devoted fifth-grade teacher in a small American town. Every morning, she greeted her class with a cheerful, "Good morning, everyone, I love you all." Her students responded warmly, eager to please their beloved teacher. But there was one exception to her affection, Charlie. Charlie was different from the other kids. He often wore wrinkled, stained clothes that smelled faintly of neglect. His hair was unkempt, and his eyes carried a vacant look as he stared out the window during lessons. While other students raised their hands excitedly to answer questions, Charlie slouched in his seat, rarely speaking unless called upon. His assignments were sloppy, and he never seemed to care about school. Miss Taylor struggled to hide her frustration, and over time her feelings hardened into outright disdain. She often sighed heavily when grading his papers and avoided eye contact with him during lessons. Her cheerful, "I love you all," never felt as genuine when her eyes passed over Charlie. As the school year progressed, Charlie's grades plummeted further. When it came time to write mid-year progress reports, Miss Taylor poured her annoyance into her evaluation of him. She detailed his lack of focus, his poor hygiene, and his apparent disinterest in learning. It was a scathing report, a venting of her pent-up frustrations. Writing it felt cathartic, as though she was finally addressing a problem she couldn't solve in the classroom. The reports required the principal's review before being sent home. When Mr. Grant read Charlie's evaluation, his brow furrowed. Later that afternoon, he called Miss Taylor into his office. "Miss Taylor," he began, his tone serious, "this report doesn't mention a single positive quality about Charlie. Is there truly nothing good you can say?" Miss Taylor stiffened. "With all due respect, sir, I've written the truth. There's nothing positive to say. Charlie is disengaged, unmotivated, and disruptive." Mr. Grant leaned back in his chair, a thoughtful look on his face. "I see," he said. "Perhaps you'd benefit from understanding Charlie's background a bit more. I've asked the clerk to place his past progress reports on your desk. Take some time to read them." The next morning, Miss Taylor found a neat stack of papers waiting for her. Curious but skeptical, she began to read. The second grade report described Charlie as a bright and inquisitive boy who loves to learn. His teacher had noted his enthusiasm for science and his habit of asking thoughtful questions. But by third grade, the tone shifted. The report mentioned that Charlie's mother had been diagnosed with cancer, and he had become quieter and more withdrawn. By fourth grade, the tragedy was complete. Charlie's mother had passed away. "Charlie struggles with focus and participation," the report read, "but he remains a kind and intelligent boy. He needs compassion and guidance to help him through this difficult time." Miss Taylor's heart sank. Guilt washed over her as she realized how blind she had been to Charlie's pain. She had judged him for his behavior without considering what might be causing it. That day when she walked into her classroom and greeted her students, her usual words carried a new depth of sincerity. "Good morning, everyone. I love you all," she said, looking directly at Charlie as she spoke. From that moment, Miss Taylor made a special effort to support Charlie. She spent extra time helping him with his assignments, breaking down tasks into manageable steps. She praised his small victories, like finishing his homework or answering a question in class. She spoke to him kindly, asking about his day and showing interest in his thoughts. Slowly, Charlie began to respond. He started paying more attention in class, raising his hand occasionally, and even smiling now and then. By the end of the school year, Charlie's transformation was nothing short of remarkable. He shocked everyone by scoring the highest grades in the class, a testament to his untapped potential and Miss Taylor's newfound dedication to him. At the farewell ceremony, students brought gifts for Miss Taylor to thank her for a wonderful year. There were neatly wrapped boxes and colorful bouquets, but Charlie's gift stood out. It wasn't wrapped, and the other children giggled when they saw it. He had brought a small, nearly empty bottle of perfume and a worn bracelet with missing beads. Miss Taylor opened the gift with a warm smile, ignoring the giggles. She put on the bracelet and sprayed the perfume on her wrist. "It's beautiful, Charlie," she said sincerely. Charlie approached her shyly and whispered, "Miss Taylor, today you smell like my mom." Miss Taylor's eyes filled with tears. She hugged him tightly and said, "Charlie, I know you'll grow up to do amazing things. Never forget how much you're loved." Years passed and Miss Taylor eventually retired. She occasionally received letters from her former students, but none touched her heart quite like the ones from Charlie. He wrote to her about graduating high school, earning a college degree, and pursuing his dream of becoming a doctor. One day, she received an elegant wedding invitation from Dr. Charlie. Enclosed was a plane ticket and a heartfelt note. "Miss Taylor, you believed in me when no one else did. I wouldn't be where I am today without you. It would mean the world to me if you could attend my wedding. With love and gratitude, Charlie." Miss Taylor attended the wedding, her heart bursting with pride. At the reception, Charlie introduced her to everyone as his mother. "If it weren't for her," he said, "I wouldn't be here today." Tears streamed down Miss Taylor's face as she embraced Charlie. She realized the profound impact compassion and love had on his life and hers. This story teaches us the importance of looking beyond a person's outward behavior to understand their struggles. Acts of kindness and empathy can transform lives in ways we may never fully realize. Whether as a teacher, parent, or friend, your compassion can create lasting bonds and change someone's future for the better. If you've ever experienced similar stories in your life, don't hesitate to share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. We would love to hear your story.